So one could say I'm in the business of recommending the perfect car for the perfect lifestyle. I mean, one could say that. I don't know if it's true. Or maybe that is exactly what I do. Anyways, I'm in a car that I probably seldom recommend to families, and yet I should. But I know why, because I know why I don't. It's because people don't want to be in a car that looks like a service delivery goods car or whatever. So I'm in the Volkswagen Caddy, and I love it, okay? I love driving it. I look like Postman Pat, but I don't care. And for me, you know how much I love practical things, and this has to be one of the most practical cars in the world. You know, especially considering the space you've got in the back there. I'm just like, I can fit so much stuff in here. And in fact, I did. I went to go get a compactum from my cousin, who, by the way, has a Ford Tornado Connect. I think she has. She has 3 kids, okay? So she needs all the space she can get. And that car's got 7 seats. She also has a company. She's got Rio Coffee, so she needs to deliver coffee. And I'm like, you see, this is why we family, because we're both so practical. She's not into like, well, I must have a beautiful, you know, fancy pants SUV to drive around, because it's just not practical for her lifestyle. Here, she got 7 seats, she can move them around, she can like kick the kids out, put some coffee bags in the back. That's what you want. And you can do something similar with a Caddy. Do you know what I mean? And I'm in the entry level, the entry level one, because Volkswagen realized that, you know, we don't all have millions of rands to spend, and you don't necessarily need a 2-litre engine under here. You can maybe do with a sort of, you know, 1-litre 3-cylinder engine instead, 75 kilowatts, 175 Newton meters. So maybe lacking a little bit of sort of low down torque when you're off and about. But, you know, I mean, I drove with the compactum in here and a massive pram. And so it was heavy. It's a flippin' heavy. It's flippin' heavy. But, and I live in a hilly area, and I had no issues really, because also if you've got kids in the car or you're delivering stuff, you're not really going like 5,000 millizillion k's per hour. I think maybe if you're on the open road, maybe you're gonna feel it a little bit, but I don't know. It's a beautiful drive, lovely engine, lovely little 5-speed gearbox. I wish there was a 6-gear, but again, we're in the entry level one. And so, I mean, look, you still get a bunch of, start. So you still get, you know, standard spec in here, which is fine, like the things you need, like air conditioning and this touchscreen, etc. But this test unit that I've got has been spec'd up a bit with like a rear view camera with the PDC. It's also got the multifunction steering wheel. So this makes it all a lot sort of more appealing to me. I sometimes wish that we would get the cars in their most basic form, if only to experience what it is, because I'm selling you an entry-level Caddy, but yet, you know, it's not at the price that it starts at. Obviously, it's going to be a little bit more. So you're looking at just under 388,000 Rand for this entry level. Like I say, this has got a bunch of spec added to it. That's almost 100,000 Rand cheaper than the next model. So it is quite a chunk off, do you know what I mean, if you're looking for a delivery vehicle. Speaking of delivery vehicles, and I probably shouldn't do that when I'm reviewing a Volkswagen, but the Kia Picanto Runner is such a fab little car. And I mean, okay, look, it's nowhere near this size or anything like that, but, you know, it's such a clever idea. You know, if you want cars that, you know, have enough boot space and that you can start a small business with and everything, it's something to consider, something to look at. I digress. Let's see what's on the radio, shall we? Dance for me, dance for me, dance for me, oh. Have you seen anybody do the thing you do before? So I love how the seats sort of fold back and whatever. You've got sliding doors. I think there's one thing that I wish I could change, and that's like when you're putting the seats back. I mean, it's if you've got one hand, if you've got like a kid in one hand, and now you've got to pull those seats, you've got to pull and push, which can be tricky. Look, I've seen moms and dads multitask, so they probably would tell me to shush, and it's so easy to do. I just had Archie in the car with me and in my arms, and I struggled to do it. So it's something maybe that one has to learn the trick, you know, once you are a said parent. But again, entry level, so you can't expect, you know, like electric things and buttons to push and, you know, to make everything more convenient. What is love? I think it is. What is love? Baby, don't hurt me. Don't hurt if you are in the market for a very practical family car or a practical or a practical business car, check out this 1 liter Trendline. This Caddy is just, I mean, it's so lovely. I don't want to give it back because I'm just so happy driving it, and it like makes me smile, and I don't have to worry about anything because I know that I've got more than enough space to do all my errands in it. I mean, it's just fabulous. Even if I look like Postman Pat. What ifs. Okay, my free advice today is if you park on a red line, or you sort of cross a solid line, or you do something and a traffic cop stops you and gives you a ticket, don't argue. You're in the wrong. And if I hear people say, well, you should be, there's more important things for you to be doing, or more urgent things to be doing, or whatever, I want to punch you in the mouth. Okay? Which then makes me do something illegal. So just don't. Just if you've done something wrong, if you've broken the law, take responsibility. Just do it. Do it.